Are you asking the question, where's my stuff, too often? Whether it's in your own warehouses, from your suppliers, or in your customer network, if you're not sure where your stuff is, then SurgeAir has the solution for you. With SurgeAir's 99.9% accuracy, you're getting more than just supply chain visibility. You're getting the ability to orchestrate your supply chain and guide decisions in real time. Reduce the chaos in your supply chain and find operational truth with SurgeAir. Find your visibility and learn more at surgeair.com. That's surgeair.com.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hey, it's Kevin with the New Warehouse Podcast, bringing you a new episode today. And on today's episode, I am going to be joined by Alon Peleg, and he is the COO at aiOla. And we are going to talk about aiOla. We're going to learn a little bit about what they do, but we're going to talk a lot about voice and AI voice technology and how that's being applied in the warehouse. And we're also going to talk a little bit about how voice technology, which has been in the warehouse for a little while, is evolving with AI and how that's developing and helping to make these operations safer, better, and more efficient. So, Alon, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very good, very excited to be here and speak about technology, operations, warehouses. It will be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it's fun, definitely. So it's a pleasure to get you on the show today and talk about this. I'm very interested to dive a little deeper and learn more about what you're doing. So why don't you kind of give us a brief overview of your company and what it's all about?
aiOla is a voice AI lab. We develop technologies for enterprises to take unstructured spoken data and to make it structured data. We can create from any flow or any process in the factory, airports, warehouses, logistics centers. We can make any manual process, paper-based or based on legacy digital systems. We can make it voice-led. Our vision is that 1 billion frontline employees will stop typing or using pens and paper and will start doing what they are used to do. It's speaking to the machines naturally, not we'll speak about it later, because previous systems were very structured. You need to speak like a robot. What we are seeing, the technology involved, it's much more accurate and it's more natural. So you're actually speaking to a machine like you're speaking with me.
Interesting. So a voice lab, you said, which is pretty interesting. I like that. And so focusing on, not just the warehousing, but multiple industries. I think when you talk about frontline workers, but let's talk about the warehouse specifically, because voice technology has certainly been around in the warehouse industry for quite some time. But you mentioned in there that it's had to be kind of robotic in the past. So tell us a little bit about why create something new around this voice technology and what's different about this versus what's kind of traditionally been utilized in the warehouse setting.
What we saw that the main challenges in order to adapt such technology widely enough by every frontline employee is that, first of all, it should be as simple as possible. You don't want to disturb them. And mainly when it might be even dangerous to disturb the employees, right? And so it should be very natural. So natural speaking with your mother language, the native language. You don't need to speak in English if you are coming from French. You can speak French, and the system can automatically today capture the data in English if that's required. For example, if you have an accent and you speak in English, for me even, which I didn't grow in, as you can hear, in the US or England or Australia, I have a special accent. So I don't want to type with mistakes and all of that. I want to just speak. And the technology today, ASR and LLMs can make sure that the data that will be captured will be accurate. In addition, the amount of different noisy environment we found in logistics centers, airports, manufacturer, product lines, it's vary. It can be machinery noise or people talking. So the technology has to overcome such noise, and it's very challenging. It was very challenging to train models specifically for every noise, right? So and that's some of the innovations that we have. Then what we found out is also every company, not every industry, every company has 40% of their own jargon. The names of the machines, the names of the parts, the names of the robots, the names of the processes, the names of the products are all jargons that other technology will fail. They will not recognize. You can speak, and 40% of the language will not be recognized by generic models. So you have to also resolve that in order to reach 90% accuracy, which is a working technology. You have to overcome noise, languages, accents, and specific jargon. Then, as we evolve, you would expect not only for the employee to speak, you would expect also the systems to react, to give feedback on like a human. And it's very important also to give the real-time feedback that will prevent the frontline worker to actually look on the screen, because he speaks, he wants to get feedback. Is the value that was filled in his form is correct or mistake? Did he forget to speak about some kind? He forgot to add the serial number. The system needs to tell him, hey, you forgot to add the serial number. Without that, you cannot submit the form. And the technology today enable a real conversation between the employee and the machines.
Interesting, and it sounds like goes much deeper than the traditional kind of voice technology that we see in the warehouse, mostly around picking, right? And that is typically a few words that you're going to say, which is going to be like a confirmation or a yes or short or confirming quantity or something like that as you're picking and using that technology. So that in my experience in utilizing that type of technology, there's like a bit of a training period, not long, but you have to train and you could say for the system, if I'm going to say yes, right, but I'm Spanish speaker, so I'm going to say sí instead, right? I mean, for the AI portion, right, you're talking about interpreting these different accents or languages, whatever the case may be. Is there a training period like that to get this up and running, or is it able to decipher right away what you're saying?
Okay, so we are trying not to disturb the employees in their day-to-day work. They are used to use System X to capture the data. Let's assume they have a system. In many cases they have. So instead of replacing it, we will just add voice capabilities to the same system. So in terms of learning new application, we can avoid that. It takes about a week to 2 weeks maximum.
Okay.
To validate that what we like the model we build for a specific company is accurate for all the employees, because maybe there is a guy that just immigrated from Korea and he has a very specific accent that 85% or 90% of the other employees doesn't have. So the model will improve in order to fit even this specific accent. So learning the system is very easy. What we have developed both in terms of speaking, it's easy. We are not replacing the existing system. Assuming we come to a new customer that doesn't have any digital and they just used the paper before, we have developed a very intuitive application that is zero training. It's just the same PDF that he had before. Now they will have the same form structured on our digital application, and they just will speak. They don't even need to go according to the order of the fields. They will just speak, explain what they want to achieve. Even if they will include two languages, some of us can use English and some of the words will be in Spanish or in French. Even if they have two languages in the same conversation, the system will be able to analyze it and capture the right data.
Interesting. And I think it's really interesting too, because especially in the logistics and warehouse world, because you get such a diverse mix of people working in those environments, and some, English is their second language, and some have heavy accents, as you mentioned too there, and I think being able to understand that and have it work with multiple different types of speaking is really a great thing. So I guess for us to understand, I mean, can you give us some examples of how this technology has been applied in a warehouse setting so far?
Some of the automotive assembly lines has logistics centers that are leveraging the regular software to manage inventories, to manage defects, and instead of just filling forms of inventory manually, they can just speak about what they see on the pallet. For example, I see 3 items from type product 1, 5 items from product 2. I want to scan the barcode. Automatically, the camera will open, and they can do it much faster. I would say 30% faster than what they did manually before. Typing, they will do it real time. If there is an issue, immediately, real time. If there is an issue meaning something is broken, or you need to call inspector, or you need to call quality assurance or anyone, immediately, because of the fact the data is being filled real time. You are not looking on the pallet and then go to fill some kind of a form on the PC to report an issue. You watch the pallet, you speak, you screen the content. If there is an issue, immediately the right inspector will come, or the right alert will be sent to the right manager. So I think real time is critical. Time reporting as well as real time reacting, much more accurate, faster and safer, because eyes will be only on the place you want them to look, and not on any kind of a tablet, PC, because you just need to speak. You don't need. So it's also in terms of safety. By the way, safety reporting is something that is relevant to warehouses,
sure,
and also to any other industry, automotive, aviation. We see that much like one of the most used use cases, enabling any employee in the warehouse to report a safety issue real time, which is very important to the enterprises.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now when they're utilizing this technology, what? Because you mentioned they're not going to have the tablet anymore, right? They don't have to worry about looking at whether it's a tablet or a keyboard or something like that, where that distraction happens, right, leading to those potential safety risks. But what are they wearing a headset to speak into, or what does the apparatus typically look like, or can it vary on how they're actually speaking to the system? Yeah.
It's very, we are like a human ear. ear and mouth.
Sure.
So it's we don't require it as a other legacy system to just wear a amulet and a microphone. And the easiest thing that the employee would or the company will recommend, it can be Apple headset or any other devices that the employees easy for them to use. It's really simple.
Interesting. And so from a frontline worker perspective, because, you know, typically the frontline worker, you know, is not as maybe well versed in technology, or, you know, maybe is also, there's some skepticism potentially about, you know, utilizing AI and, you know, maybe a potential like threat to their job or something like that. So how do you manage that kind of thinking, and how do you get these frontline workers to want to work with the AI and be able to leverage it as a tool to help them do better without them feeling like it's coming to take away part of what they do?
From our example, we're actually building the solution with the frontline employees. There is a company-wide policy. Let's implement, and we are coming bottom up. We are working with supermarket employees, maintenance employees in the airports, technicians in the automotive factories, logistics employees, and we always try to find the most painful process they have. You know, they hate to fill data that no one will use. They hate to wait for inspectors. They hate to do to type twice.
Yeah.
They hate to finish the shift and then to start sitting next to a computer and fill long reports that they don't even remember what they need to write in the content. They hate to speak in the wrong languages. They hate to type in English if they don't really good in English. So we are and we are starting slow. We are starting with one process at the time. We show the value for them employees, how easy it is for them to speak, because that's the natural things for us to speak, right? We show them that any non-relevant talk will not be captured, so it's safe. We are not saving personal discussion between two employees. It will not be captured nowhere. We actually work with them in showing them the value. We are not replacing existing systems. We are not changing what they did before. We are just providing them a way to do it easier, much easier. And it's fun. You hear the feedback from the employees. They really enjoy using technology. I remember when I learned my first degree, there was in the Industrial Revolution, there was an experiment that in the factory, they were turning the light on to the frontline employees. It's improved their efficiency in significant percent, and then they closed the light and the productivity went up again. It was because someone paid attention to them, spoke with them. So that gave motivation to the frontline. Here, it's very similar. We listen. Without our technology, probably they will not use AI in their environment, work environment, in the next 10 years. Suddenly, they have a way to leverage AI and to say, hey, we are leveraging AI in our day-to-day, which is not just AI, it's pragmatic AI that actually helped us to finish the work faster and much more accurate.
Interesting. Yeah. It's very interesting to hear, and very interesting to hear some of those pain points that frontline workers experiencing when it comes to, I guess, language and speech and some of those frustrations. And I've certainly, worked with some people where, like you said, maybe they can speak enough English to get by, but then when it comes to like typing it or writing an email or something like that. Like they struggle or they don't feel the confidence in the language to be able to do those things. So I think that's a really great point. And I can see too where having a technology like this to be able to accommodate whether it's thick accents, different languages, or different ways of speaking, can potentially open up the opportunity for jobs even more as well, right? And expand that labor pool. So now this technology is something that is you could add on to any system that you're utilizing, right? It's not replacing an existing system, right?
We'll be back after a quick break.
Struggling with scanning errors and peeling labels? Moving or reconfiguring your warehouse? Implementing a new WMS? The wrong labels can slow your operation down. Luckily, ID Label has durable, scannable barcode labels and signs built to last and keep your operation moving. Plus, if you need to get those labels installed, they've got it covered. Their expert team installs rack labels, overhead signs, floor striping, and more with precision, so your warehouse operations continue uninterrupted. I've installed tens of thousands of labels in my career, and I wish I had someone else do it for me. Get a free sample pack at idlabelinc.com, because when they do the barcodes, you can do more. That's idlabelinc.com for a free sample pack and more information.
Yeah, today we have several examples, both for CRMs, for example. It's not frontline employees, but Salesforce teams hate CRMs. It's number one complaint that I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to feel anything, any opportunity. Leave me alone. And if they do that, it's really partial. And sometimes they're on the way. They are not sitting in an office, right? Many times they travel. So think about, I just finished a call with a customer. I summarized the call in my car, and all the system all the data will be filled automatically. My manager is happy. Everyone is happy. So that's one. ERPs, quality systems. We are open. We have APIs, so we are not coming to replace any system. We are just connect. You just add a mic to your existing system, and that's it. We are adding other capabilities like on real-time reporting, insights that might not be there before. Sometimes there are industries that are a bit behind. They didn't completely finish the digitalization process, and they don't have huge IT system to start developing their own app. So then we are flexible enough to give them our aiOla app. They can just very simple replace paper-based process or Excel, all the Excel files, all legacy system with aiOla digital form. So. But it will be voice-based.
Yeah, interesting. So if I have say I'm a warehouse manager or director of operations, and I'm listening to this, and I have a warehouse management system, this is a technology that I could layer on top of my existing warehouse management system to be able to feed inputs into that system, whether it's because I'm picking or I'm packing or I'm receiving or something like that, correct?
Yeah, exactly. You can replace me in the next blog.
well, you taught me well here in the last 20 minutes. So very, very interesting there. And so as we look towards kind of the future of this type of technology, how do you see it evolving, and how do you see the industry, specifically warehousing industry, evolving along with it? Do you think it'll be something that's widely adopted because of that kind of ease of use? What are your thoughts there?
Very quickly, we see if 2 years ago I would need to explain what I just explained you for 20 minutes, 1 hour, and then the customer, my customer, will say, "Wow, it's really amazing, but I don't know what to do with that."
Okay.
Today, we have tens of conversations, sales conversation, where we are being asked on how to implement it as soon as possible. Voice AI is one of the hottest things in industrial AI. Also in like self-creators, but it's not relevant to our discussion. So we see that technology being adapted faster than what anyone expected. For warehouses, I would say real conversation. So first, it will be form filler. Just I will speak. The form will, if the values will be filled automatically. Then really fast, it will be a real conversation between the system and the employee. Hey, you forgot. Hey, did you see anything broken on the pallet? Don't forget to report. So it will be a real conversation between the system and the employee. That will be the next phase. We see agent today is more with less with voice, but we will see agent with voice interface more and more, and we see the demand for that, and many small companies developing agents today, but then they will need also voice component in order to interact with the employees. So conversational agent, that's where the industry is going.
Interesting. And you mentioned there that 2 years ago, you would have had to more deeply explain the technology before it would click for somebody to kind of understand what is it. And then there was still a question of like, well, where do I put this? But now you say that there's much more eagerness to implement, and how do I get it into my operations or my business? So what do you think has happened over the last 2 years for that shift in thinking?
First of all, each one of us has voice AI in our phone. 2 years ago, Siri or Alexa. Only if you are very fluent English speaker, it understand you. It was very limited. Today, I can drive 2 hours, commute from home to the office. I can open ChatGPT voice, and I can speak freely in my English, or I can switch to Hebrew, and can run any conversation with the technology. So the technology matured enough, but so we all employees, our grandparents, the management, everyone get to trust the technology that it can work, right? Now for enterprises, we spoke about the challenges: background noise, a global workforce, jargon. It lags a bit behind, and with our technology, we close the gaps for enterprises. So this is why the interest is higher. Of course, in every company today, there is someone that wants to implement AI. But but what implemented AI? But how can I get ROI from these implementations? So they come to us, and we very quickly can demonstrate ROI and value. Just give us one use case, and in 2-4 weeks we will show value.
Interesting. Yeah. And I think it is interesting to see that shift, right? And like you said, it's a pretty interesting point there, right? Where Siri came, Alexa came, and Siri's saying, and Alexa's saying like, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand you," right? Or something like that. And it's kind of like, this technology is, it's not that great, right? Like it gets like frustrating after a while, where you're like, I can't use it. But like you said, now has evolved, right? Where you mentioned you can have these conversations with ChatGPT, and just go back and forth. And I think it's interesting to see that shift and that kind of understanding of the technology more when it's able to function the way you expect it to function, and that's really interesting to see. And it's very interesting to learn too about how you're utilizing that technology for these frontline workers. So it's been a pleasure to learn from you today and hear a little bit about aiOla and how it's coming into play here, specifically for the warehousing industry and other frontline workers here as well. So if people want to learn more about the technology, the company, what's the best way to do that?
The website is pretty rich with material, specifically both for industries as well for engineers and product teams. You can try the technology on the website, or you can, if you have more technical capabilities, you can also use our APIs for a few weeks free. And the best is always to speak, because we are a voice company. So I will be
Sure.
I will be very happy to speak with anyone on my LinkedIn, and then set up a call. It's always exciting to speak with industry leaders and people experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And we'll definitely put all that information at thenewwarehouse.com, as well as in the show notes here, so people can easily find it and easily speak to you as well to learn more. So Alon, it's been a pleasure to get you on the show today, and thank you once again for your time.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Enjoyed this episode? Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast, and for more content from the New Warehouse, find us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Links to subscribe can be found in the show notes, and for everything The New Warehouse, head to thenewwarehouse.com.